This is day 3 of the Florida Farm to School Conference, and I have with me today Karis James, who is
St. Mark's Episcopal Academy STEAM Instructor, and we work with the IRL restoration as well as having school gardens and marine sciences. Yeah.
So, first of all, how have you enjoyed the conference?
I loved it. It's been amazing, like from step 1 to now when we just tasted the corn. That's like fabulous. Who gets a culinary experience like that?
So they had a live chef and he did a recipe in front of everyone, and we got the taste test, so that was really nice.
Got the chef hat. It was fabulous.
And then what brought you here?
So originally I saw it on Facebook, and we're working on restoring our IRL, which is the Indian River Lagoon, with mangroves. And we're also growing farm-to-table foods where the students will experience creating recipes like, healing garden, pizza, herbs, and then they make these pizzas from it at the end when they harvest all their foods. And so when I saw it pop up on Facebook, I was like, oh my goodness, I have to go to this. So I love absorbing all this new information. It's not my area of expertise. I'm an educator, and agriculture and marine sciences and gardening and so forth. It's just not my area of expertise. So gleaning all that new knowledge is amazing because then you incorporate it to where it adapts to the kids' level. So yeah.
And I'm really interested in learning more about the mangrove system that you have.
Okay.
And that's at the school?
Yes. So we're in Cocoa Village, which is in Brevard County, and we're at the basically right on the IRL, the Indian River Lagoon. And we work with Erika, MRC, and Indian River Lagoon Coalition. And they come over and partner with us, and they teach the students how to check for mangroves. And if the mangroves have the little seed pods, the manatees will come over to right at our outdoor classroom because we have a beach area.
Wow.
And we'll see them feeding on them. And then they need seagrass because they're starving. So we plant seagrass, and then they work with we work with Brevard Zoo to help with the oyster gardening as well, to help clean the water in a natural way. We have an underwater reef. So there's a lot going on this tiny little campus. It's less than 100 students, and their hands are in everything. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, we're coming here to, I imagine about fruits and vegetables, but then, you're doing all this other stuff.
Right. Fruits and vegetables for the ocean, river animals, you know what I mean? So all those marine mammals come into the Indian River Lagoon, and that's where they have their babies because the waters are shallower. And so you'll see, we call her Daphne the dolphin, and she's out there with her pods of dolphins, and the students follow them, and then we see the manatees, and they come over and they feed on the seed pods on our mangroves. And then we have a donor who just donated money for research kayaks, and so the students go out and they do all this research, checking the mangroves, go out to little islands, and that's our aspiration at least. So go out and check and see how everything's happening in nature and if the ecosystems are thriving or if they're still struggling. We have all those cruises right there, and the locks are blocked. So we're trying to find natural ways to clean the water and create a system where the students we'll see how the groundwater filters before it gets into the IRL.
Awesome.
Right now we have all of the pollutants from the whole Cocoa Village area that travel when there's runoff from rainstorms. And then it falls into our beach area, and then we're trying to create this living shoreline that acts kind of like a force field or a shield, that collects all those nutrients before it makes it into the river and when they have those algae blooms. Have you been over there? I'm not sure if you know.
No, but
have you ever smelled the Stinky River?
Close to the beach. So.
Okay. So sometimes the river will be stagnant, and that water used to smell like rotten eggs. Yeah. And so our students have been tracking the progress, and it used to be rated as an F. And now we're at a C-, I think sometimes B in some areas because of what we've been doing and working as a team with the students. They're excited about it. So that's good.
That is so cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I wanted to hear a little more about your background in, was it Puerto Rico?
Yes. So I grew up in Guatemala till my early childhood, and then I moved to Puerto Rico when I was 7. Okay. And in Puerto Rico, often we would have hurricanes, and I was there during Hurricane Hugo when water and power was shut off the island for several months. And so I was used to rain harvesting and using rain barrels and boiling the water and getting the sediment out of it and learning how to use nature to survive. I thought it was great as a kid, but I had no idea I'd be using this now, to teach students how to create these innovative ways to water. So using a rain barrel and gravity to push the water down to water your crops or your plants or, whatever we're trying to harvest.
Yeah. So that
that's helpful.
yeah, your
background.
Your background and growing up that way has given you, you know, the opportunity to like, you know, do this for the next generation.
Absolutely. And so the one thing that's really interesting is I remember during Hugo, people would go to the rivers to shower because we didn't have water because the plumbing was all messed up. So we'd go to the rivers and people didn't think back then to see what happened at the top of the river and if there's a dead cattle or animals that, you know, were harmed during the hurricanes. Now all that pollutant's coming down. So that's another area I have no idea I'd be using now, testing water to see how's the water for the manatees and the mangroves and why are our oysters struggling to thrive. So yeah, it's really fast. You'll have to come out and see the campus. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to.
I invite you. It's a formal invitation. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, it was very nice meeting you. The conference has been amazing. I mean, whether it's for agro ecosystems, I think that's what they talked about in one of the break-off sessions, as well as talking about, you know, how to plan your drawings and how to have a large scope and then put your jobs in phases so that you can make it to that end goal. So that's where I'm at. I'm phase 2 with our research kayak. So it's going to be fun seeing what's happening. So
I'm sure the kids are super excited about that.
They are. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
It was nice meeting you. Yeah, nice meeting you. All right, bye.